Shalom la bachayayim shal yashala. Peace to the elect of the nation of Israel. Wa kal halayim la alahayinawa Yahweh b'Hashem Yahushai b'Hashem Rechak. All praises to our power Yahweh b'Hashem Yahushai, which Yahweh is the true, almighty, powerful name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and his only begotten Son's name is Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. B'Hashem meaning in the name, Rechak meaning spirit, Kodash is holy, which I uttered in the Paleo Hebrew, which is the language that has been returned unto the Hebrew Israelites, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the Lord's chosen people. You are the Israelites. And of course, since our seed has been scattered amongst the four corners of the earth as a curse, all right, which is written here in the book of Deuteronomy and all other places in the scriptures, all right, due to our disobedience for not following the law, statutes, commandments, we have been scattered. And so some of our people may look like the other nations, but by the way of the fathers, all right, their spirit bear witness with our spirit. They are the children of power, all right, if you can receive it. Of course, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shinya Kabad La Shalayachim Nawa was a Konyam Shal Yashala, right? Which that's double honor to our apostles. Wa means and. Zaquanium is elders. A Great Millstone. Well, and of course, Shalom wa Chesed la Bachayarium Shal Yashala. Peace and mercy to the election of the nation of Israel. Shemya Mappa, my name is Mappa. My Great Millstone Play Tables Camp located here by Ayar, which is the city, or Baha Ayar of Philadelphia. Baba Ball in Babylon. They're coming again with another lesson of the Chakodash, Ma'amath and truth, right, or of truth. Alright, so we have here a wee article which I've seen. It says here, inside the horrors of migrants detention or migrant detention centers. So you have it here, horrors. Okay, let's go into that term. The new, or Aitha, which means now. It says an intense feeling of fear, shock, and disgust. A thing causing a feeling of fear, shock, or disgust. You have here in a sentence use, photographs showed the horror of the tragedy, which in here we have horror and tragedy written here are actually shown displayed in these images, which are some of the various conditions that migrants, which you have the migrants, they of course are primarily of the northern kingdom, which are so-called Latino tribes, mainly from Issachar and Zebulon, okay, which Issachar is of course the so-called Mexicans, and you have Zebulon, which are, I believe that's Guatemalan Panamanians. All right. You have it, a lot of those Latin tribes in particular try to enter the United States, so-called illegally, all right, due to immigration laws. Okay, you have to go do a form of immigration processing and such. Now, of course, here you have it where there's various forms of unrighteous decrees, because first of all, this land was stolen by, of course, the Edomites, okay? The Edomites, Esau, Edom, all right? Which those are the people whom the earth is given on the hand of, which they are the wicked, okay? As Job 9:24 it says, they, of course, oppress these people, and they look at them, of course, with a great disgust, and that goes to all tribes, 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Right now, currently, we're speaking of these particular tribes, all right, Latino tribes, all right, so-called, all right. It says this week, the Department of Homeland Security, which is DHS, watchdog, released 2 reports detailing the dangerous and concerning treatment of migrants in immigration detention spaces. It says details at Custom Border Protection facility in El Paso, Texas. More than 150 migrants were held in a cell meant for just 35 people. And in an immigration customs enforcement ICE facility in New Jersey, a noose hung in a detainee cell. Kitchens were stocked with expired food, and inadequate medical care was provided. All right, which this brings up a few of my pequadim or precepts, which the first one I'm going to bring up is going to be in the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and 22, which it reads here, or Korawa, it read, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes," right? Which a snare, is obviously a trap. Okay, snare going back, Baha Barth in the Hebrew, the bar or word, all right, is going to be for snare. Give me a wee moment, because I don't know off the top of my head. Snare is pakach, or pakach. All right, which pakach it means here in the definition, just to ensnare a trap. Okay, meaning that's like one whom is a cunning hunter, such as Esau. Okay, just to give you some background information, this is gonna be the book of I believe it's Genesis, chapter 25. Okay, the 25th chapter, or Bara Ashiath, which is mean in the headings or in the beginnings. All right. It says here that Genesis chapter 25 and 23, it says, "And the Lord said unto," or it says, actually, I could start at Genesis 25 and 22. It says, "And the children struggled together, and she said within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? So she went and inquired of the Lord, Yahweh." It says, "And Yahweh said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb." And this is Rebecca, all right, whom is the wife, all right, of Isaac. She, of course, had twins, okay, and this, of course, were two different nations that came out, all right. It says, "And the Lord said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb, and two married people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." And this is speaking of, obviously, the nation of Israel consists of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They are the people, are the ones that are stronger than, you have it, the other people, all right? Which, that's basically all other races, okay? If you can receive it, okay? You have it where spiritually, mentally, and physically, they are the strongest people on the earth. And that's, scientifically it's proven, okay? What if you can receive it? It reads on and says that and the elder shall serve, it says, "And the elder shall serve the younger." And of course, you have it that the elder, all right, being what? The elder who came out first was Esau, shall serve the younger, which is, you have it, Esau would serve the younger, which would be Jacob, which is the nation of Israel, which we know who Esau is. Okay, if you don't know Esau, you gotta, of course, do some research in the videos, okay, because we're under a current YouTube persecution of censorship. So, we are being wise with our words and such, but it's easily can be told who is Esau Edom. Okay, it's easy. All right. It goes on, it says, it had a time, of course, when the Dark Ages, okay, they had, of course, whom they call so-called Caucasians. They were driven out into the Caucasus Mountains, okay, and you have it where people of dark skin, all right, which are the Israelites, they ruled, all right, during them times in Europe and such, all right. You can go into the Moors and other things and such. All right. So, but anyway, just to skip. It says, in the first came out red like a hairy garment, which this is a trait of the Edomites, being what? Red, all right? Having the lack of pigmentation, okay? Now, it's a spirit. You have to be spiritual to understand, because not everyone is an Edomite, or not everyone that appears to be having a lack of melanin in their skin, all right? Not all of them are Edomites. You have to judge by the spirit, because since we've been scattered amongst all nations, some of our people may look like the rest of the heathen. Okay, so going on, in some of our Latino tribes look like heathen. Okay, but it says, in the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they call his name Esau, that's Ishashua in the Hebrew, which means wasted away is he. Okay, all right, Ishaw or Ishashua, all right, which means wasted away is he. Okay, because he lost his pigmentation. All right, so I just want to go to the point, which the point is being about him, is that one of his traits is that he's what? Verse 27, Genesis 25 and 27. The boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. All right, so you had the so-called Negroes, Latino, and the Americans. They're plain men dwelling in tents. All right, they're spiritual. Okay, we are spiritual people. You have Esau, who's a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Okay, so you have it where cunning hunter is one is Yadai, which means to know. All right, he knows through what? Experience. That's one of his blessings, which he's also the sword of the earth. All right, which you read that in the book of the Psalms. All right, Psalms. Let me see if that's 17 and 13 or something like that. Psalm 17 and 13, it says, "Arise, O Yahweh, and disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked." So there's a people upon the earth which are actually called the wicked. All right, which that's Esau Edom. Okay, which is thy sword. Okay, Esau Edom is the wicked. All right, you go to, just to give you more so, a lot of the are new to the knowledge. Okay, you have to, through thy precepts you get understanding. So you go into it, there's an actual wicked on the planet Earth who are ruling in rulership, and they are oppressing these people, trapping them and snare them in holes, as what the point is I'm bringing out in this particular lesson. Okay, this is the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and 2. It says here, or actually starting 1 and 1, it says, Malachi, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Yashala Israel, which means Yashala mean he, the prince of power, or he, prince of God, or which were sons of the power. All right, it says, I have loved you, said Yahweh, yet ye say that wherein hast thou loved us? And that's what our people, of course, they say to themselves. Okay, why they in the condition they are, which, Lord willing, I'll bring out a little bit of edification on that. But just for the sake of time, I'm going to go on. It says, was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord Yahweh? Yet I have loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. So it says, wherein Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will build. All right, and build and return and build the desolate places. Or it says, and we will return and build the desolate places, which, after, of course, a time of being in captivity under the Israelites, you had the Edomites. Okay, out of the time of the Renaissance, they came of course into rulership and took over, of course, Jake. All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and they are actually, yes. I mean, you have it where Israelites. Okay, in general. All right, mainly you have it. You had mainly of the Southern Kingdom, what they call Jews. All right, ruling in Europe and such. Okay, But anyway, going on, just to, for sake of time, it says, "Thus said Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, and I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness." All right, and the people whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. So you have the actual people that are called the wicked. All right, the border of wickedness. These are the Edomites. Okay, because wherever they go, you have it where they have nothing but wickedness is multiplying exceedingly in the earth. All right, those who were the took upon the heritage of the Greeks. All right, conquered the Japhites. All right, so-called Polynesians and so-called Etruscans. And then driven them out to the Pacific Islands, and then of course took their names upon themselves. All right, such as Alexander the Great. All right, of course the Romans. All right, these were Edomites. Okay, if you can receive it, you'll know who these people actually were. All right. It says territory, a boundary. So I mean, of course, if the whole world is ruled by the wicked, everywhere is going to be, of course, under gross darkness and polluted. All right. So just to make the point is that the wicked are ruling, and they are the Edomites, and their blessing is the sword. They are the Yahweh Shem Yahshai's Harab, all right, which is sword in Hebrew. Okay, Esau is a cunning hunter, so he's the one that's trapping. You have these Israelites, all right, being of the northern kingdom, all right, of the tribes of primarily of Issachar, so-called Mexicans, and Zebulon. All right, these Hondurans, Ecuadorians, and such, trying to come to the country to pursue a future. All right, in Babylon, which is America. Okay, now going on, it says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled." Okay, they are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses, and they are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none said restore. And you have it where most of the people in this world, especially pro-Trump supporters, they dislike. All right, the Edomites, obviously they hate Jacob, they hate Israelite. All right, they hate Latin tribes. Okay, so these people are hid, and look what they're going through. Okay, look at, of course, all of their book bags in which they, of course, they go on these long journeys to get to America, and this stuff is all discarded. Okay, and they're under these poor conditions. Okay, it says here that at the border patrol station in El Paso, the general inspector found that majority of immigrants in detention there had been held longer than 72-hour limit. All right, so you do the math. That's over at least 3 days. What's that? It's 24 hours is 1 day. 48 is another day, and then you do another one. All right. So, and et cetera, et cetera. So going on, it says, I'm bad at math, Slakia. It says on May 8th, the station had 900 migrants in its custody, despite the facility's official maximum capacity of 125 people. So, I mean, if you have 900, that's already, that should be a violation, in which the whole immigration system is backed up anyway and such. Almost about 1 million in backlog cases and stuff when you do the research. All right, so you have these various facilities which they're being held within. Okay, they're well over capacity. 125. Just do that math. 125. At least what? Shoot. If I do that math, man. Let me see. I want to try to do the math actually at this time. Let's see. Just Let me see, 125. Let me go on. I'm doing it actually on my phone. my full 125 times, I'm gonna give it roughly 7 times 7 is 185. So they saying 900. So it's at least 7 times over. All right, which 7 is a complete number of over capacity. All right. So it says Border Patrol agents told us some of the detainees had been held in standing room only conditions for days and weeks. The report states. All right, let's go to some of these curses. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and 25, and starting at 15. All right, which these curses befall the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, it says here, but it says here, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right, so you have these various curses which the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua placed upon the nation of Israel, which these are what? A sign to be able to distinguish who actually are the Israelites, all right, the Lord's people upon the earth. Okay, so we know who the Israelites based on telling, all right, or applying these various curses. Okay, it says in the scriptures that they shall be for a sign. Okay, I believe it says something like wherever these shall go, or something of that. I can see if I can find the actual particular scripture. All right, in the scriptures here, it's actually in this chapter. Off the top, it ain't clicking, but you know, through the Rakha Kodash, I will find it. It shall be a sign. You know, while I actually find it, shoot, Slocky, of course, we're not seeing it at the time. I may have to actually go into my physical scriptures because it's better for me in the spirit to actually find it. But yeah, you know, the curses, you know, they are you know, on the, you know, the Israelites, and definitely the you know, the Latinos are actual Israelites. Okay, they're part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, and this is why they are in the condition, the lowest state in which, you know, you can currently see them in. All right, being snared and in holes and such, you know. All right, so let me see what I got. Slack it for right now. I'm gonna just have to look it up physically on this computer. B for a sign. And this is why we gotta go repeatedly in the scriptures, you know, because, you know, yeah, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 46. It says here, right? Right in Deuteronomy 28:45, it says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, which is mean destructured, right? Because thou hast hearkened not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, and to keep his commandments and the statute which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So, you know, as I explained, it's going to be for what? They shall be upon you for a sign, all right? which that's a wath in the Hebrew. Okay, a wath, which is a distinguishing mark. All right, simple as that. All right, it's a sign, so you can tell who the Israelites are because they have this distinguishing mark, which is these various curses. All right, some of the curses, all right, as it says here, cursed thou shall be in the city. All right, cursed thou be in the field. Field is the world. Okay, you have it where you have various curses that speaks of, like here it says here, Deuteronomy 28:25, the Lord Yahweh, which the Lord did this to his people, shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. All right, to be smitten means to be what? To be killed. All right, smitten. Let me see if it go back to the Hebrew word. It got nagap. All right, it's smitten. All right, strike. All right, it should be similar to harag, which basically to be killed and such. All right, it says, thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and thou shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. All right, this happened in 70 AD. Had us, flee all the different ways, and it's still happening here today. As you can see. All right, all the kingdoms. Let's see what else we got. Remove. All right, you got remove. Right here, they actually have under remove, they have the Hebrew word, which is za'aiwa, which it means here a horror, trembling. Okay, so you're gonna be in a horror, trembling. All right, in all the kingdoms where you've been. Your life is basically in a hanging in the balance and such. You shall become astonishment in Deuteronomy 28:37. Thou shalt be astonishment, a proverb and a byword. All right, among all nations, whether thou shalt lead thee. All right. It says that thou shalt carry much seed into the field, and thou shalt carry in very little, for the locust shall consume it. All right, you have it where we do work, barely are even profiting. All right, we put in a bag with holes. Okay, that's because we're being oppressed. All right, byword. All right, obviously these various bywords, they're sharp words. All right, are taunt. Calling somebody a Mexican is actually a actual derogatory term. Calling them a Latino is derogatory. All right, because these ain't actual proper titles for the actual nation. These are nothing but bywords, taunts to us. Okay, calling somebody a Negro, not calling them a Judite or from the tribe of Yehuda. All right, these are the tribes of Zebulon. These are taunts. Because we are a royal people. Okay, and our oppressor doesn't even want us to know, of course, who we are. All right, because they want us to stay within slavery underneath them. Ultimately, they don't want the rulership of Yahweh Shai. All right, Yahweh Shai, who the world, even called Jesus Christ, is coming back to, for set everything back into order. All right, so anyway, let me go back to the article and bring out more scriptures, wee bit more. It says, Border Patrol Agency told some of the detainees that had been held in standing room condition for at least weeks, right? It says, we observed the staff discarding of detainee property, such as backpacks and suitcases, handbags, and nearby dumpster. It says border personnel told us that the items might be wet, have bugs, and be muddy, and therefore they presented a biohazard. Also, we observed detainees standing on toilets in cells to make room to gain breathing space. All right, so they're basically packed up, literally like sardines. Okay, as you can see, this is similar to who we were put on slave ships, basically. Which that's written in the book of Deuteronomy 28 chapter. All right, you read it here, Deuteronomy 28:68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, which this America is New Egypt, the place of our captivity. All right, it was the Israelites whom were in captivity there, and build up, obviously, these various who build up also the new Egypt, which is America. All right, and you have it where you can even easily prove that these Israelites are the Lord's chosen people, because here in the Americas we have various forms in Central America of these pyramids and such, which the Northern Kingdom tribes, some such as the tribes of what is it, like I believe you go into like like the Aztecs and stuff, which I have to go and check if Aztec. I think that we go back to Issachar if I'm not mistaken. And then you got like certain things in Peru, and you go into like the Incas and stuff, so you go into some of the different Latin tribes, Zebulon and such. All right, build up these different things, okay, and built, and that's what make them Israelites, okay. How would they have that built that knowledge, okay? Because they were those people that came over, all right, from of course the Assyrian captivity. When you read the obviously the history in the book of Second Esdras, the 13th chapter in the Apocrypha. Also, I believe it's I believe it's also in the history, also within you can read in I think Kings, but you have to go back into it. But Slack it. It says here, and thou shalt see it no more again. All right, and this is just to prove that this is the new Egypt. You can read, of course, like book of Revelation chapter 11, and 8. Revelation 11 and 8. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, which our people are spiritually dead. They wandered out of the way of understanding, so they be in the congregation of dead." All right, where also our Lord was crucified. Lord was put, obviously crossed out. Here in this obviously this place, they of course cross out the true image of the Lord being a dark-skinned man, from the tribe of Judah, et cetera, et cetera. The law, statutes, commandments, they of course don't upheld everything that the Lord stand for. They're here in New Egypt, which is America, all right, are against. All right, it says here, we being here, we made this place prosper and flourish. All right, thus, especially being the tribe of Issachar, which means he is higher than the Hebrew. All right, which is Yashashkar. All right, it's in their nomen omen, that they are workers. All right, hard workers. All right, and we built up Egypt. All right, the old Egypt, and we made the new Egypt. Very obviously blessed. All right, being America. All right, real quick, just to get some history. It says here that Exodus chapter 1 and 7, it says here, "And the children of Israel were fruitful, increased abundantly, and multiply and wax exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them." All right. So, we built up, obviously, old Egypt, and since we're in New Egypt, we built this up off of our labor. Okay, both northern and southern kingdom tribes. All right, just so that okay, we were those Israelites being ruled over by another dark-skinned race, which is the Hamites. All right, or Matzazarium, one of the sons of Ham. All right, which is Matzazarium, or Egypt. You have here just read Egypt, but that's Matzazarium, one of the sons of Ham, which that of course is so-called Egyptians. Okay. They were a dark race, which were different from them. You can, of course, read like the book of Exodus 11, all right, and 7, if I'm not mistaken. All right, and we built this place up. We built that place up too, and this place is on its end. Okay, we of course, are in what straits here. All right, so you got these different, you see this. Look at all these women, look at all the stuff. During the inspections of New Jersey, which is near me, for New Jersey, ICE Immigration Custom Enforcement Detention Centers, the IG observed spoiled, moldy, expired food kitchens at the facility at Essex. The conditions were so bad that the kitchen manager was fired during the inspection. So these are horrid conditions. It says one of the facilities strip searched migrants, placing them in the disciplinary segregation away from other migrants. So they put them literally into solitary confinement, which that leads you what to being literally batshit crazy. All right, excuse my language. All right, because solitary confinement leaves you to basically allow demons to mess with you in your mind, being by yourself. Especially if you don't got Yahweh Shema Shai with you. All right, if you don't got Yahweh Shema Shai, demons gonna be bothering you. So it says another did not allow migrants in disciplinary segregation to take showers or to have any recreation time is a violation of ICE policy. So you see it that they are doing all these various forms of oppression and ways of cruelty to the Israelites. Okay. It says there are other sanitation and health issues at one center. A noose was found in one of the cells. You're going to get hung. You're going to get killed. All right. You see here, the packages of food and such. All right. So, this just goes and show you, the conditions which the Israelites got to go through. All right. And the Lord bringing down judgment on some of them, most of them being wicked women. All right. And wicked Israelites in general. All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 57:1. It says, the righteous, being the Israelites, perish, and no man layeth at the heart. Nobody is caring about what these, Latin tribes are going through. For the most part, most people, say this is great. America is being made great again by, of course, the increase of the increased enforcement of the immigration laws being put into play. Okay, being that we're gonna detain these migrants. We're gonna send them back, but really they're doing a lot of things. They're really shipping a lot of these migrants into sanctuary cities, and really they're just gonna get judgment. During the race wars, okay, which that's biblical prophecy. But anyway, that's another lesson for another time. It says here, and merciful men are taken away. It says none, considering that the righteous is taken from the evil to come. So if you die, obviously it's, because the Lord obviously sanctions death. The issues of death, okay, are sanctioned by the Lord Yahweh. All right. And that's also mean for you won't have to deal with the punishment, as we got the Jacob trouble, all right, and its full fruition, time of distress, Yaquab Tazarah, that has never been seen before since the earth has been, all right. You'll be in the spirit world, okay, which this is the book of Job, you don't go to hell when you die, all right, just so that you know, all right. This is the book of Ayawab, chapter 3, or Job, which means persecuted. All right, chapter 3, and starting at I'm gonna start at verse 11. It says here, Job, or Ayawab, chapter 3 and 11 says, why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Why did the knees prevent me? Or why did the breast that I should suck? For now should I have lain still and be quiet. I should have slept. Dying is basically as sleep. Because you're going to rise again, okay? Because judgment is played out on the earth. You, of course, come back every 3 and 4th generation, okay? Going in, let's read. That's another lesson for another time. Anyway, it says here, then I shall be at rest with kings and counselors of the earth, which have built the desolate places for themselves, or with the princes that had gold, or filled their houses with silver, or as a hidden untimely birth I had not been, as infants which never saw the light. There the wicked cease from troubling. All right, there the wicked cease from troubling. So the wicked, as you know, are the Edomites, and there the weary be at rest. All right, which the weary would be the Israelites. Okay. It says, and there the prisoners rest together. And it says they hear not the voice of their oppressor. Who's the oppressor? The Edomites. They're oppressing the Israelites. Okay, they have them as a prey. All right, they're snared in holes. It says the small and the great are there, and the servant is free from his master. Who the servant? All right, and who's the master? The servants are, of course, what you got being the Israelites being in captivity. We are at what? We're serving slavery right now. The master being, of course, these damn Edomites, which they, of course, are ruling over us. All right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, and starting at the verse 5. It says here, there is an evil which I have seen under the sun, which under the sun is the earth, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich, meaning the Israelites, sit in a low place. I have seen servants, all right, which servants is Ibadium, all right, Baha Baryath, all right. You got Ra'ah Yathya, all right, which, you know, the root being Ra'ah, which means to see, all right. You have Ibad Yum, all right. Ibad in Hebrew is servant, all right. It says, I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. All right. Of course, the princes, all right, which Yashar Allah means he, prince of power. They're the Israelites. Okay, they're the princes that are walking as servants upon the earth. Okay. It says, and he that diggeth the pit shall fall into it, and whoso breaketh an hedge, a serpent shall bite him. All right, in which the Lord ultimately is going to make things right when he judge the Edomites, which are what? In obviously rulership right now. All right, doing these various forms of horrors. There's going to be horrors that's going to be done to them. All right. This is going to be what you reap, what you sow, you shall also reap. So they, of course, sowed and reaped iniquity. So they're going to get that death, mawath, and slavery, servitude, for what they've done and what they continue to do. So anyway, you know, I'm just going to close out Slakia if it was a bit long and drawn out, but that's what the Spirit brought out. Spirit has the wind. It says, inside the horrors of migrant detention centers, I mean, you see it, packed like sardines, you know, unsanitary conditions, discarded items, okay, you know, of course there's going to be rape that's going to be done. They just not, of course, mention it in this article. With that, I want to say, call Allah, Yim La Yahweh, Bashir, Shai, Bashir, Kakodash, and double answer. That was Pastor Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.